That's all full and ready to go. How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel. Welcome back to Volcalidus, the DLC for Hydroneer. And today, we're going to go on a hunt for some buff stones. And then I'm going to talk about how the buff stones are used and utilised in the game. And we're going to go from there. So, I know where the first two are. I need 4, I reckon, to do this. So, I'm going to go and find 4 buff stones. They are dotted around the map. Random locations. RNG. So, they are random locations and random buffs. I have no idea which ones are which, and yeah, we even came up with ways of trying to spam this, and Max took all those things out. So yeah, blame us on that one. It's all good. So the first one I think is over here, basically because I haven't moved them since the beginning. You've got this one here, and then you've got the one over by the entrance to this main area, and then I've got to go and try and find the other, like, well, 2, which could be anywhere in the map apart from the Barrens apparently. So yeah. Right, let's rotate. There's number 1 buff stone. Right, now we're going to find another one. Now, the best part about like picking one of these up is that anywhere in the world, another buff stone has spawned. So, the best way to sort of like, for me, the best way to like try and find them is to stick to the roads and zoom out your cursor again. So it's a bit like looking for the dinosaur bones, and then from there you're literally just sort of, well, plodding along. You know, you got to find a stone, you got to pick it up, then you got to find a stone and pick it up, and you got to find a stone, and it's just a laborious task. It's constant, over and over again. You got to find more buff stones. Now, you don't technically have to do this. The buff stones are like a gamble. You're either going to get a good buff out of one, or you're going to get a bad buff out of it. It's a 50-50 shot, but with RNG, you have no idea which one you're picking up. So when you are creating your drills and your harvesters and bits and pieces, and you're like, hey, I just want to create like a better thing, and I want to do this and I want to do that, that's all well and good. But when you are creating something, you might have a failure, you might have a defected one. So it is a bit of a gamble. The buff stones are like, do you really want to try? Well, maybe. Some people do, some people will, some people won't. Me, myself, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I probably won't, and the reason why is because the standard equipment you can make from just taking the stuff up to the forge, in my eyes, is good enough. But if you want to take that risk, go for it. It's up to you. Okay, so that's 2 buff stones done. You know what? I could probably do this with 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to, obviously if you want more stones, you have to roam around the forest looking for fights. You have to find them, you have to go looking for them. There isn't really a map of like guide. I mean, at the moment, there isn't really a guide. Someone might make it, and if they do, I will basically talk about it. But for now, I'll take these 2 buff stones. I will take them to the furnace. Now the furnace is down in the shattered breach, so we have to go down there. Then we have to like deal with the melting. And here we are. So we're going to take our stone off of here, attach, swing it out, stick it on. Do the same to this one as well. Now you can do 2 at a time, which is completely fine. There we go. So now I can put this away, and if you really want to, you can sit here and watch ice melt. They are getting smaller, and we're interested in keeping the stone in the inside. Now if you do want to make this a bit quicker, you can take the hauler back now, go and get your truck and then drive around a bit, but I'll do that in a minute. So this process takes about, I think it's about a minute, maybe 2. So it doesn't take very long. So if you have got other reasons to come here, like you've got the logic shop down here, you've got the furniture shop, you want to pick up some more conveyor belts, obviously bring some money with you, so you don't steal everything. But whilst you're waiting for these to be done, you do have that opportunity to actually be able to sit here and go off and do stuff whilst you're waiting. It's like taking your wife to like a superstore. You can sit in the husband chair and watch the world go by, and your wife goes shopping, and it's all good. That's the bit we're interested in, the stone on the inside. Hey, 1 buff stone. I do like buff stones, they are pretty. 2 buff stones. Alright, cool. Now I've got to go back to my plot, go and get my truck, and pick up some miniatures, because then I'm going to show you how these work. Now this is the downside to the hauler. It is a little bit slow, but plus side is it's pretty reliable. I mean, the tank's pretty big on it as well, so it will last you a little while, and also it can haul loads of big stuff. It's got its plus sides and it's got its negatives. The pros and cons of the hauler. Just looking out for like buff stones on the way home, because you never know, they just appear. Once they've been melted down, there should be more stones like popping up. Okay, right. So first off, I'm going to take a pan. I'm going to put some stones in it because I don't want to carry 2 at the time, so it's easy just to carry 1. Boom, that can be done there, that's fine. Right, now I need to take my miniature for I'm going to take the drill. So I need iron and cloutium for this. Easy. Iron, cloutium. So that's for the drill. And then the other one, I'm going to just take I'm just going to take a standard like tier 1 tool. So let me take the pickaxe. So we just need iron for this. So thankfully we've got iron. We're all good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the top of the volcano. I'm basically going to show you what happens if you just build a standard drill and then take the chance with the buff stone as well. Okay, so I'll see in a second when I get to the top of Volcalidus. So the motorbike, or if you haven't got it, go and get it. It acts as a scout. So if you're running around the map trying to find buff stones and dinosaur bones, or just like delivering stuff to the town for, you know, you built a sword for, let's say, Eric. Now, if you want to roam around the map by going a little bit faster and you want to look for buff stones as well, the best thing to do is to get the motorbike. Because it is that much quicker and a bit more nimble, you can get around the map slightly faster. Well, faster than you can get around the map in the hauler at least. So the best thing to do is to use the bike as a scout, get around the place, find some buff stones, find the dinosaur bones, and then remember where they are. Or get your own map and mark it. You can basically screenshot the map that we can hold, and then you could dot it in Microsoft Paint. I found it here, I found this there. So you do have that opportunity to be able to do that as well. But it's just a way of getting around the map, finding stuff, and then not having to basically plod along in the hauler. It is slow, but you know, it does have its reasons and its uses. So that's what I would do. I'd use the bike as a scout and I'd use the hauler as a pickup. Basically, I'd just try and remember where everything is. Lift. Oh, we made it. Video, and we are here. So like I said, I don't really move things. If you watch that video when I was doing my drills and stuff for like the big stuff, I don't tend to move things away from here. So if I'm going to be using drills like I am here, then I would just leave the drill thing up here because there's no point in me taking it home with me. Right, so I need 500 iron and 100 cloutium. So there we are. Whack that in there. Now I'm going to show you what a bog standard one looks like, and I'm going to show you one with a buff stone. And there we are. So this is your standard drill. There's no extra stars to it, it's just standard. No speed boost, no size boost, it's just a drill. It works just like any other bog standard stuff. There's nothing special, but it's reliable. That means it's good. And that means if you had like 10 of these on your plot of land, you're going to get lots of stuff. Now, if you wanted to risk it for a biscuit, basically, in order for you to use a buff stone, you have to put it in the crucible. So, iron goes in, cloutium goes in, buff stone goes in. Now, like I said, it's a 50-50 flip. Number one, it comes down to RNG. You might get a good one, or you might get a bad one. You never know. So, this is do it at your own risk, okay? And if you don't like it, you go off and scrap it. You won't get that buff stone back. You have to go and find another one. Let's just hope I get a good one. And we got, hey, 3 on the output and 1 on speed. That's a good one. So that buff stone was genuinely a good stone. Now I don't know which one that was. So as I said, it's RNG. Ain't got a clue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it does with your tools as well. So I'll leave this here. Now I don't intend to like buy loads and loads of like pickaxes and everything else, so that's just the way it is. So I'm going to take this home with me. We're all good. I'm going to put my pickaxe up on here, and I am going to create this. Now, when you buy the original pickaxe from the shop, it'll be like a red skull one, so it doesn't work very fast. It's not very great. But if you just build a standard one like this, it will work better. There's no rush. There we go, there's our bog standard pickaxe with no buffs on it, and it works really well, so it's all good. That just means it's a good pickaxe, solid, sturdy. Now I'm going to see what he does with the buff stone. So again, buff stones are completely random. I have no control over it. I don't know what I'm going to get. It could be bad. I don't know if it can be necessarily worse than the one that we get to start with though. We'll find out in a minute. If it goes in the hole. Pull the lever, Grug! There we are. 2 stars on dig size, so it's got a bigger radius for clipping. I did all right. And like I said, at the end of the day, they're RNG. I have no control over them. I don't know what I'm getting. So yeah, I mean, I'd be alright with that. I'd be like, okay, cool, I'll be fine, I'm just gonna do this and I'll be okay. So that doesn't bother me. But you can get bad ones. You can get ones that they might only have like one red skull maybe, but that just means they're not as bad. Well, they're not as good as like the stuff that you, well, they're better than the ones you got to start with, let's put it that way. Alright, cool. So I'm going to go back now. I'm going to show you the difference between the bog standard pickaxe and this pickaxe. Alright, so at least then you get a decent idea of like the difference between the one that we start with and the one I just created. Now I will say this about the buff stones. They are a bit RNG when it comes to like the reason why I say RNG is because it's random numbered. You don't know where they're going to be. They just spawn. Okay. Now because there's only, I think there's only like 10 or 20 different buff stones within that number. The spawn points aren't as many as they are with the dinosaur bones. Obviously with the dinosaur bones you're looking at 36 bones and there's like 70 locations they can be spawned in. When it comes to the buff stones, because there's not as many, it generally works out a little bit easier in your favour to find them. Again, there's none of them in the barrens. Nothing really spawns in the barrens, apart from the two rough spots of the dinosaur bones, but they're right next to a location. But the buff stones themselves, they don't get spawned anywhere else apart from the areas you will walk around in. So you're looking at the fields next to Burville, you're looking on the hilly section next to Waterside, and then you're looking at the main path and the ice maze. So go check it out. When you find them, you'll be all right. And that's why I said use the motorbike as a scout. Get around the level faster, go check them, go find them, mark the location in your head or on a bit of paper or something, and then go and pick them up. That's what I'll be doing. Like when it comes to like doing my live streams and stuff, I've probably already been doing this because I don't know when this video comes out. So if my live streams have been going since, I'll probably be using the motorbike as a scout, so I'm able to go around and find all the buff stones. So I'll be finding the ones I want to use to see if they're any good, and I'll carry on. Well, my thing is the basic equipment you get from just forging is fairly okay. It's just standard equipment. It's what we were used to when we were playing just normal Hydroneer. But with the buff stones, you do have a chance of getting a better item. So you can take that risk. At the end of the day, it's only going to cost you a stone, and you only have to go and find another one. It just means having to go and find another one. That's your problem, having to find one. Right. Now we're back here. I want to show you the difference between the bog standard pickaxe and the one that I just made. And then you get an idea of why sometimes it's good to take a risk, and then, you know, reasons why you wouldn't take a risk. This is a 3 skull one. So 3 skulls just means it's defected. This is the standard equipment you buy from the shop, and it's not very good. So if you look at this, it's a bit slow on the old hit, and that circle is okay. This is the standard one that we just forged with no buff stone. As you can tell, hits a little bit quicker and it's faster, and the area of digging is better as well. And this is my one that I used the buff stone, where it says dig size bonus, so this should be a little bit bigger. And there you go. So there's the difference between your bog standard crappy one that you buy from a shop, a bog standard forged one with no buff stone in it, and then one with a forged buff stone in it. At the end of the day, it just means it works better, and that's good. And that's all we needed. Gonna be honest, you now know the reasons why you'd sometimes take that risk. The standard equipment is good enough though, and I would do the standard stuff unless I really wanted to take the risk with whichever one I wanted to play with. So hopefully this video has helped you out, and that you sort of like get a gist of why the buff stones are good, why they're a bit of a risk, and why it's gamble, but sometimes it pays off for you. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates, and I'll hopefully see you in another video. I'll say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do, and if you have any questions, down in the comment section. Thank you very much for being here. A boom, fist bump to you.